Hi there. I figured I'd just narrate a battle report of a game I played today. It's 1500 points that was played on Warhall, Dark Elves versus Dwarves. What you can see here is the list I took. It's what I'm using in an ongoing tournament on Warhall, so this was just a practice game, I suppose. I've got a Death Hag with a Rune of Cain and Executioner's Axe. That's plus D3 attacks, and Executioner's Axe is always strikes last. Wounds on a 2+, with AP -2 and Killing Blow. The always strikes, but she has always strikes first. That counters it, so she's just very quick with a bucket full of attacks, trying to kill everything she's in combat with. She's toughness 3 with no saves of any kind, so if she doesn't kill what she's in combat with, she's going to die. Supreme Sorceress for the general, level 4 with Demonology, Dark Pegasus, Law Familiar to pick my spells, Ruby Ring of Ruin, and Pendant of Killeth. In this particular game, spell-wise, I believe I went with the Summoning, which is a 2d6 Strength 4 AP -1, Steed of Shadows, Gathering Darkness, and Demonic Vigor. We've got 2 units of Dark Elf Crossbowmen, no upgrades, 17 Witch Elves with full command and the banner of I can reroll my failed charges, or reroll my charges in general, I suppose. 2 Cold One Chariots, 3 units of 5 Harpies. I really like these, they've been very good in every game I've played. And 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers. So this is the deployment. As you can see, my opponent's scanted and vanguarded. I'll just go through what he's got here. I do not have his actual list, but I can just tell you what's here. We've got 2 Gyrocopters, a unit of Rangers with heavy armour, shield and great weapons, 3 lots of 5 Troll Iron Drakes with a champion and Trollhammer torpedoes, 10 Longbeards with the Master Rune of Hesitation, which is the you don't get any benefits for special rules that require you to charge, like Furious Charge or Lances, for example. Rune Priest with 2 Runes of Spellbreaking, those are the Dispel Scrolls. King and a Thane BSB. BSB has got the banner of we've got a 5-up ward, and everybody nearby has got a 6-up against shooting. And the King has got D6 wounds. They may have some other stuff, but it wasn't really relevant in the game. I win the roll-off first turn, and I cast Steed of Shadows onto my Witch Elves, and then I move up with everybody. The Witch Elves just fly straight in. I did see if I could get them behind the Rangers, right up in front of the Dwarves, but I couldn't fit in there, sadly. Although it probably wouldn't have been a great idea if the Rangers had charged me in the rear. I don't know, maybe it would have been alright. I move up the Harpies on the right, so that on my next turn, if my opponent doesn't react, I can charge into the flank, like that, of the Iron Drakes. My opponent doesn't realise what they're over there for and just how far they can go, and I will be able to do this. In my shooting phase, I shoot both throwers at the Gyrocopter. I managed to hit it both times, wounded both times, and it goes down, which was quite lucky, but I was very happy for that to happen. Otherwise shooting, I kill 1 Ranger. In my opponent's turn, he moves up the Iron Drakes off of the hill, just so he can fire his Trollhammer torpedo at my crossbowman on the hill. He moves his Gyrocopter over the Harpies and does a bombing run. This is very effective. He kills all but 1, and that one flees, and then will not rally for the rest of the game. Otherwise, he fires a great many shots into my Witch Elves and killing quite a lot of them. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, the reason why I left my wizard so far back is because I really don't want to get shot by all of these Trollhammer torpedoes, so I left her out of range. And my chariot, I believe, is just out of line of sight of his Trollhammer torpedo model, which is the middle one. Or if he could shoot, he's at least shooting through some of the units, so it would be a lot harder to hit me. I passed my panic. Weirdly, frenzy units don't have immune psychology anymore, so that's a bit strange, but there we go. In my turn, I cast Demonic Vigor on the Harpies, just because they're going into the flank of these Dwarves, and if I fail to kill him, I want it to be a little bit harder for him to kill me. I also charge the Witch Elves at the Rangers. The Rangers flee, and I redirect into the Longbeards. We left the models here, even though these two are on his unit. The theory being that they would just run a little bit further because of skirmishes, but we didn't bother moving actual models. We knew what was going on, so that we were happy with that. I make all of my charges, and then we go on to the rest of my movements. I just move up, and we get to do some shooting. I shoot some crossbows at the gyrocopter, do 1 wound, and then a bolt thrower finishes it off. And then I put everything else into the Iron Drakes and managed to kill 2 of them, and they passed their fire test. In combat, my opponent challenges with his king. I and ah, but decide, yeah, why not? I accept the challenge with my hag. My hag gets an extra 2 attacks, so 6 attacks, hit on 4s with rerolls. I managed to get 4 hits. I wound with all 4 of them, it's 2's to wound, but I don't roll any 6s, so I don't get any killing blow. He only takes a single wound, and then he absolutely destroys me back, getting about 15 wounds with his d6 wounds thing. So that went quite badly. The rest of my Witch Elves attacking his unit kill a mighty 1, because he's got a 4-up, 5-up save, 4-up armor, 5-up ward. So yeah, that's bad. And then he absolutely butchers me. So it's a double 1 to not flee. I do not roll a double 1, I flee far away, and my opponent restrains. With the other combats, I kill 1 dwarf on the hill. He forgets that he has stubborn, and he rolls his leadership test, and he passes and gives ground. If he had remembered he has stubborn, instead he could have fallen back in good order and then reformed facing me, but because he didn't, I'm still in his flank. The other Iron Drakes, I do nothing to him, he does nothing to me, so we just sit there. It's a tie, which is perfectly fine by me, because I just don't want him to be shooting me. He rallies the Rangers and moves forward a little bit with the Longbeards. He's just too far away to charge because Dwarves have got stubby little legs and they can't get anywhere. He moves out the Runesmith into the Rangers. His shooting, he shoots the Trollhammer torpedo, the Iron Drakes at the chariots and does 2 wounds to it. And in combat I manage to kill another dwarf on the hill, and I follow up. And in the other combat he kills 1 of mine, so he wins because I've got a flank and he's got close order and a wound, so I lose by 1, but I'm next to my general, so I pass my leadership test and give ground, and my opponent elects to test to restrain and refall. In my turn I rally the Witch Elves and do some magic. I give the Iron Drakes -2 leadership and can't use the Inspiring Presence for general, and give the Harpies the +1 toughness, +1 move, +1 toughness because they're flying. I elect to charge with both the Harpies and the Chariot into the Iron Drakes. They do get to stand and shoot because they've got quick shot. He shoots the Harpies and kills 2 of them. I elected to put both of them in just because if I charge the Chariot on its own and he flees, then I'll be left in a precarious position with the Longbeards, and I really didn't want that to happen. But I figure if I put both of them in and he flees, then at least the Harpies will be able to catch and kill them. So that's the thinking behind that. So we go in, the other stuff moves. The Witch Elves, because they rallied, get to move nowadays, so they just shuffle backwards because I just want them out of the game now since they can't do anything anymore. And the Chariot on the left just moves forward 7 so it can shoot its crossbows. They don't actually do anything, but it's nice to roll the dice. In my turn, my shooting, I managed to kill 2 of the guys in the Iron Drakes, but the guy with the torpedo is still alive, which is the only one I actually wanted to kill. Just FYI, despite trying to cast the summoning, the 2d6 strength 4 AP -1 spell every single turn, I never get to cast it. I only succeed in casting it once, and my opponent uses a dispel scroll for it. In combat, I kill 4 of the Iron Drakes. He's double outnumbered, so he flees. I roll a double 1 with my Chariot and it goes nowhere, but the Harpies do manage to catch him. Fortunately now the Chariot can be charged by the Longbeards. With the combat on the hill, it's another tie and we don't go anywhere. In my opponent's turn he charges his Longbeards into my Chariot. I think we played this wrong. I was asking what happens when I go into a building. Do I just stop? Do I go through? I think in fact I would have just stopped, but he said no, I think you have to go around, so I ended up wheeling and going around through my character. And my opponent did this wrong as well, although I didn't catch it at the time. He pivoted and then went his full charge distance instead of just wheeling around like he should have done however much he rolled. he pivoted and then moved the full amount, so that was definitely wrong, but I just didn't even notice at the time. But it wouldn't have actually made any difference, so it's largely whatever. His rangers also let to charge the harpies, which they managed to do, obviously, because they're literally right next to me, and so he goes in. His shooting, I think he shoots the Trill Timer torpedo at the chariot, he hits it and he kills it, and he kills all but one of the harpies. It runs away, and it won't rally for the rest of the game, so that's basically dead. In my turn I rally the chariot, and I move over here with the harpies, just to threaten the Iron Drakes. And I move forward out of his line of sight with the chariot and the wizard, and in my shooting I manage to pick off the remaining Iron Drake, and the bolt throw on the hill shoots the 2 Iron Drakes in the flank, because I can see over the skirmishers, and kills both of them. That's it for my turn. Over to him, he reforms these, he shoots the Dwarves into the Witch Elves, kills a few of them. I think he probably would have been better off just going up on the hill and then shooting at the character, but there we are. And then in my turn I charge both the Harpies and the chariot at the Dwarves. Again, the reason I charge both is if he flees, the Harpies have got a better chance of catching him. I kill 6 of them on the charge with the impact hits and then the riders. He strikes back to the Rune Priest but doesn't do anything. He falls back and I follow up. The Harpies roll incredibly low and would have ended up on the chariot, so I don't even move them. We had to get rid of the hill because it was making things awkward on the on Warhall. The Dwarves try to charge the rear of the chariot, but they fail, so they just move there. And then in my turn I kill all but 2 of these. They're now outnumbered by a double unit strength, so they will be fleeing, and that was essentially the end of the game. We called it there with a victory to myself. Sorry, I forgot to mention, in my previous shooting phase I killed another like 4 of these Dwarves. If I had another turn of shooting for my turn 6, I wouldn't have been able to kill the rest anyway, so I was happy to end the game where it was. And that's everything. Actually, I changed my mind. That's not everything. I'd be interested if anybody has any opinions on how this works. When charging at skirmishers with multiple units, how does that work? So I charge with the chariot. Does he rank up to me and then these Harpies are now going in the flank? Does he rank up to the Harpies and then the chariot's now going in the flank? Or because they're skirmishers and don't have a flank or anything, do I end up just going in the front? I really wasn't sure. This is just how we ended up doing it. I figured, yeah, it's the larger unit strength, so we'll do the chariot first. Rank up, and then these guys will go in and you can extend a bit further. I have no idea how this actually works though.